I'm Bill Bishop. I'm here representing Bill Bishop and Sarah Bishop and a bunch of our neighbors. We moved here, or we bought our property here in 1987. And one of the reasons that we bought that property is that it was surrounded on three sides by BLM. And we said, what tremendous neighbor that would be. The last few weeks have proven that wrong. We're surrounded on three sides by BLM properties, parcels 6191 and 6195. I've already written a letter, 6 pages long, and sent it to BLM, objecting to those two parcels. I have 2 points to make tonight of a financial nature. First, I want to insist that all of the BLM staff dealing with this issue read Andrew Gulliford's book, Boomtown Blues. I left a copy of that with BLM in Montrose yesterday. Here's a picture of the book. In particular, I called their attention to Chapter 6. Chapter 6 deals with financial matters at Rifle after the boom there. And it's a horror story. At a personal level, I feel that if this drilling happens, that Sarah and I will lose a large fraction of our retirement nest egg, because that nest egg resides in the value of our property. If this drilling happens, I computed today on the back of an envelope, almost literally, that our neighbors in the valley will lose somewhere between $70 and $350 million in property value. That's arithmetic on the back of an envelope. And the county loses the proportional property taxes. As Andy asks in his book, who pays for these losses? The second is that there's a myth about the local economy. Unlike the coal mines, where the employees move to town and are part of the local economy for an extended period, the drilling crews are trained professionals who come to town, drill a hole, and move on to some other place for the next hole. There'll be a few jobs for local folks, but not very many, because mostly it's imported staff. And the money that they get from their salaries leaks out of our valleys because it's sent home. And there'll be local costs for police, road maintenance, a lot, and many more things that won't be paid for by sales tax because there won't be many sales. And it won't be paid for by property taxes because the values will have dropped. So again, as Andy asks, who pays for these costs? The bottom line, this is a really bad financial deal, even if there were no environmental or cultural impacts. So I request here formally to BLM, please withdraw all of the parcels. We can't afford them.
Hi there, my name is Adam Gall. I hunt and fish locally. I also guide fishing trips and hunting trips in the area. These provide a significant portion of my annual income, and I'm here to ask the BLM to remove all 22 parcels that are up for the August 2012 oil and gas lease sale. A few years ago, Colorado Parks and Wildlife conducted a study. They found $28 million gets pumped into Delta County from hunting and fishing alone. $53 million gets pumped into Gunnison County from hunting and fishing alone. In 2010, over 5,000 people hunted elk in units 521 and 53, which are basically the 2 game units that envelope the valley. These units have over-the-counter elk tags because of healthy elk herds. What an over-the-counter elk tag means is resident or non-resident, if you have proof of hunter safety, you can go into Weekender Sports or wherever. Buy an elk tag, go out, hunt, harvest an elk, bring it home, put it in your freezer, and feed your family for a year. There's not many places on the planet where you can do that, but you can do that here. The majority of the leased parcels are in these same game units. Looking ahead, if these poorly thought out parcels are leased, road building and large increases in heavy truck and machine traffic will inevitably follow. Numerous studies done all over the West, wherever elk live, show elk avoid or will entirely leave areas of motorized use. Roads decrease habitat, roads fragment habitat. The bottom line is this reduced hunter success. So putting all this together, healthy elk herds equals successful hunters, which equals consistent and long-term revenue for North Fork Valley businesses, whether it's Weekender Sports, Paonia Farm and Home, Homestead Market, Hotchkiss Meats, Stengel's Rifle Range. A lot of places really benefit. The locations of these 22 parcels in this valley stand to damage or permanently ruin reliable economic drivers that are already providing revenue in a healthy way and can continue to do so for generations to come. Thank you.
I'm Boyd Boland. I was born and raised here. I own a 50-acre farm at Midway that borders parcel 6195. I request that the BLM withdraw all 22 parcels from the August lease sale for 6 reasons. First, in Pavilion, Wyoming, the Environmental Protection Agency found that fracking fluids had contaminated the drinking water. There's no reason to think that wouldn't happen to me. The drinking water source for the Sunshine Mesa Domestic Water Company, which has fed my farm for 50 years, finds its source on parcel 6195. Second, drilling puts at risk my irrigation water and soil resources. The valley has a long and rich history of agriculture, but if fracking fluids enter the irrigation water of the Fire Mountain Canal or other canals with its high salinity, it puts at risk the fertility of our land. Thirdly, drilling threatens erosion. You'll all remember the Wake Fire of July 1994, which decimated the cedar forest on parcels 6191, 6195, and 6196. The forest has not grown back, and there's been little progress towards revegetation. Heavy truck traffic and other traffic on that fragile land would cause erosion, which could destroy water sources and fertility of the land. Fourth, it threatens our wildlife habitat. Parcel 6195 and the surrounding area has been described by the Bureau of Land Management as a crucial deer and elk winter range. This morning, like every morning from October through March, a herd of deer crossed my pasture in search of food and water. No mitigation will stop the migratory patterns of those animals from being changed if there is this development, not to mention destruction of the habitat of the golden eagles and yellow-tailed hawks which circle above my farm. Fifth, drilling puts at risk our recreational and visual resources. Senator Schwartz, I hope you were in the North Fork Valley last night. If you were, you might have looked into the sky and seen the trio of Jupiter, the waxing crescent moon, and Mars. The firmament is so clear and so bright here that some people think the North Fork Valley is the center of the universe. Cumulatively, and sixth, this drilling threatens our treasured landscape and our traditional way of life. Sound stewardship dictates that these parcels be withdrawn.
My name is Sarah Bishop. I just commented to Robin Smith that I learned so much today that I didn't know about my wonderful valley. I'm really quite full. So, my first request of BLM is that you remove all 22 parcels from consideration in the lease sale. This is too valuable a place to be thrown away on a few drops of oil or gas. Besides, I'm a champion of business enterprises, especially those that make our valley such a wonderful place to live. You've heard about our agriculture. Now the cultural scene. Yes, painters, musicians, sculptors, playwrights, etc., do actually earn some money from their art. And that's very important to them, especially from visitors to this valley. Entrepreneurs, they choose to live here. There are small businesses that provide goods and services. And then there are the coal mines. Those provide good jobs. It's a relatively clean energy from the point of actual extraction, and they have a smaller footprint than any oil and gas would have. They don't have to put in quite so much infrastructure that's above the surface. And they follow very strict environmental guidelines and regulations and rules that do not apply to oil and gas. I'm totally supportive of any new business that is compatible with what is already here. Oil and gas drilling is not compatible with our valley's current business environment or its vision of its future. We have heard the concerns of those involved in agriculture, water, air, the confidence that the community has in the purity of what we produce here. There may be far fewer visitors to our valley, definitely will be, and artists depend on them if our landscape appears unattractive. Entrepreneurs may find a better place to live if they can sell their home. And as the population declines, small businesses will decline. There's a real concern for the coal mines from possible seismic activity connected with drilling. There are just too many unanswered questions to go cavalierly forward. You have heard the myth about drilling bringing jobs into the area from my husband, Bill Bishop. A few businesses benefit to the detriment of others. Few, if any, local folks will land high-paying jobs on the drilling rigs. So, before going any further, BLM must do the following. Reassess the appropriateness of parcels up for oil and gas leases according to current conditions and use. Much has changed since '89, particularly the Wake Fire. And look at what's going on elsewhere. Don't be blind to what's going on in other states. Thank you.